Alrighty, happy Homebrew Wednesday everyone. Tonight, for your viewing pleasure, I'm going to do not one, not two, not three, actually three. I'm going to do 3 live brews. Maybe a little bit of editing in the video, just a little bit. Going to be thirsty work. Good job I've got my product placement. Balin's Brewery Enforcer Black IPA. Yeah, that's right, I'm going to do 3 brews. But they're not from scratch. I have a 5-gallon fermenter here that has been cleaned. Just needs to have some sanitizer poured in it. And in that 5-gallon fermenter, 20 litres for those people that don't live in a non-standard world. Oh, there's 20 litres of this from a wort kit. That's right, that is a no-chill cube. It's a no-chill cube, that's it, it is. It's a no-chill cube, but it's a properly done no-chill cube. When I say properly done, it's been overflowed to the brim. No air in that, mate. These were done by Carl at All Grain. He shoots up to Panhead and he does a contract brew to do wort kits. And he has heaps of these cubes all laid out, brand new cubes, overfilled, ready to go with wort in them. And he gave me one to give it a crack. He gave it to me a while ago actually, it's been quite a while. So I'm going to use it. Now, I'm not using it to make it stout, that's not the primary reason I'm using it for. The primary reason I'm using it is because I want to steal 4 litres, or 1 gallon out of it, and put it into this 5 litre, 1.3 gallon demijohn. Because this little demijohn here, I'm going to do some experimenting in. I'm going to make myself a Black Braggot. So, if you don't know what a braggot is a mead, but instead of using water with the honey, you use malt or a wort with the honey to create the must. So the honey I am going to be using is this honey here, this honey here. John Bush and Sons. Now this is clover honey, and this is 1 kg or 2.2 pounds of clover honey, and it's got black currants in it. Now it's only got 10% black currant, so it's 90% honey, so 900 grams of honey. So that will be going into this, along with 1 gallon of wort, stout wort. The remaining wort's going to go in the fermenter, and that's going to ferment away. This will become a Black Braggot. Alrighty, and the other one is going to be, no, that ain't moonshine in there. This is Proxytan, my no rinse sanitizer. The other one is going to be a Melomel. Now a Melomel is a fruit mead, so it's a mead made in the normal traditional way, but it has additional fruit added to it. Now the additional fruit that's being added to it is raspberries. Frozen raspberries. So let's get cracking. Might have to lower the camera down so you might not be looking at the head any longer, you'll be looking at other bits. I'll keep it clean, but yeah, going down. Yum. Right, just got to start off with sterilising this fermenter. It's already been cleaned up, but I need my Proxytan in there. Bang them around, you'll break them, you doofus. This has also got Proxytan, not Star Sands in it. Because I ran out of Star Sands. Right. What have I prepared? I prepared my yeast. Now this yeast, there is 400 mils of this yeast. 400 mils of this yeast? Yes there is. There's 400 mils of this yeast. So this is Lalevin EC1118, which is the champagne yeast. So that's a 5 gram packet, and I've added it to 400 mils of 35 degree water. 35 degree water. What's 35 degree water? 95 degree water Fahrenheit to rehydrate it. Now I've also added in Fermade A and Go Firm. So yeast nutrient and yeast rehydrator helper stuff. So if anybody's done meads before, honey doesn't have the food that the yeast needs to eat. So you can add raisins and things like that, which adds which adds some nutrients for the yeast to feed on. But there's also yeast nutrient that you can add, and it just helps keep that yeast healthy. Now I've been reading up quite a bit about meads and when to add the yeast nutrient and bits and pieces like that. And the practice seems to be, it's only small amounts, like 1 gram, well, to the scale that I'm doing, 1/4 of a teaspoon, sorry, 3/4 of a teaspoon. 3/4 of a teaspoon to a 5-gallon batch of a combined 1:2 ratio of Fermade and Go Firm. And you add it at pitching time, so I've added it to the yeast to rehydrate it. You also add it the next day, 24 hours later, and you also add it 48 hours later. So the same amount, 3/4 of a teaspoon. And also 3 months down the track when you're ready to rack off, or 2 months down the track, when you can see that the fermentation is nearly stopped. You just add it in when you're racking off and going into secondary, just to give it that extra little boost and keep it going again. First off, let's get that wort into this fermenter so that the jerry, the 20 litre jerry can that the wort is in, is lighter to carry when I'm trying to pour it into a demijohn. Oh. So that's getting a decent aeration, is it? Pour it into there. Oh, yum. I've got a couple of markers there for my litre marks. Tell me when I get there. Boom. 4 litres. And the rest into the fermenter. Sanitize, sanitize, sanitize. Don't use your teeth. Don't use your teeth. Use scissors. USA 5. Ta-da. Brew number 1. Done. Cap on. Brew number 2. Let's just work out what the gravity is of this wort. Okay, we are at 1045. That's right. Nice mild little stout there. Wort tastes great. It's got a really nice oatmeal flavour to it. It's going to make an interesting braggot. This honey, because it is a clover honey, maybe not because it's a clover honey, I'm just sort of guessing, but it's pretty solid. Yeah, pretty solid. So I chucked it in the microwave for 2 minutes. So that, I won't tip this one upside down, but so that it's liquidy again. So let's get this in here. Now meads can take up to a year to be ready. That's mainly because of the time it takes for it to ferment out. Now with the yeast nutrients that we're adding in, and we're adding them in quite vigorously at the beginning, that should help it, it should speed it up. So I'm hoping in 3 months' time that this will be ready. But it doesn't matter because I don't mind waiting. I'm just going to whip that inside and run a bit of hot boiling water in it so I can get the rest of that out and top it up to my 5 litre mark. Okay, mixing time. Now, honey doesn't dissolve very well in water when it's, you know, warmish. Well, when it's coolish, it needs to warm up. So in order to get it mixed in, you need to give it a decent stir. If you've got a drill with one of those stirry things on it, poke it in and give it a decent stir up. Get a sanitised spoon in there and give it a good stir around. Or if you've got all night and the magic of video editing, shake it. Yay, it's mixed. Right, before I put the raspberries in this, I want to find out what the gravity of the must is. So previously it was 1045, it is now 1094. Okay, let's give this a taste. See what it potentially could be like. Shit, it's going to be... Well, I could just drink this now actually. Oh dang, that is nice. Right. Time for the raspberries. Alrighty, I have 250 grams, 249 grams, 248, it's going to be a long night. No, 250 grams, which is 9 ounces of frozen raspberries. Now the cool thing about freezing raspberries is that they expand and their membranes break up, so they become all mushy. When they get frozen, the water in there expands obviously, like they're 70%, probably 90% water. So that all expands and it breaks up all their cell membrane, and that makes them mushy and easier for the yeast to consume and easier for the beer to absorb in the raspberry goodness. Now I'm putting these in primary because I'm going to put in another 250 grams in the secondary. I just want to have that raspberry profile throughout the whole brew, just to really pump it up in there. Alrighty. It's alright, I'll wash my hands before I do the next one. Alrighty, brew number 3. This one is going to be a Melomel. Fireworks going out all over the place in the neighbourhood. So if you hear loud bangs, it's not gunshots. So this one is going to be a Melomel, which is a mead with fruit in it. And of course the fruit is going to be raspberry and obviously black currant that's in the honey. I've chosen to buy 4 litres of natural spring water. My water's good, but I thought, why not splash out and buy a bit of water for this? So let's get the water in there. Not all over the bench, you twat. Okay, here we go. Ooh, pouring water. Bet you haven't seen that happen before. Oh. I have once again heated up my honey. Heating up my honey. Suppose we want to get a decent shot of this honey being poured in here, eh? Okay, shaky time. Okay, this one is coming in at 1067. There you go, 1067 for this. So this champagne yeast is going to rock it. It's absolutely going to dry this one out a hell of a lot. I wasn't sure what it was going to come out at, as I said earlier on, so it was a bit of a gamble. But I thought it would be best to have champagne yeast, just in case. As with this one, it was getting close up in the high 90s. This one here, not so high, but hey, all good. It still tastes extremely good. Yum. And of course the raspberries, they're going to help contribute to fermentable sugars as well. So once again, let's get the raspberries in. Oh, I dropped a whole one. Here is the Black Braggot with the raspberries and the Raspberry Mead. Both of them with clover honey that has black currants in it as well. Perfect thing for staining clothes. And look! No stains! Isn't he clever? Time for the rehydrated yeast. Oh, there's heaps of yeast in the bottom there. Awesome. Give it a good mix up. Make sure that it's a fair share in both of them. Alrighty, that's me. 3 brews in 1 Homebrew Wednesday video. Ah, clever, eh? Pat on back. Something else, just to sort of mention. Last weekend was the Sober National Homebrew Competition. Now this is the New Zealand-wide homebrew competition. And quite a few people enter beers in. I'm not sure of the numbers. There will be a link down the bottom that shows you the stats and all the results for who won medals and who was the best in the best of style and best brew and all that kind of stuff. But there's, I don't know, I think there's on average 400, 500 odd entries that go into it over the complete range of BJCP styles. And I managed to get a bronze. So my first bronze medal. Yay! And I got it for category field beer. Field beer category 10K, which was my black garlic porter that I entered into the SJ Pour Challenge. So I thought, oh, I'd enter it into that one and get some feedback on it, you know, see what people think, see what some of the BJCP judges think of it. Well, they thought it was good enough for a bronze, so shit hot, cheers. But I was actually blown away with the amount of people that I know that got medals. I've got a little list here. If I miss your name out, I apologise. Paul Finney from Finney's Homebrew Emporium. He's also one of the gold sponsors for the 2014 SJ Pour Challenge. So cheers Paul for doing that, but well done for winning some medals, and also best in style, I believe, from memory. As I said, the results will be down the bottom. You can click on the link and you'll be able to see the full results of the NAC. Also, who else have we got here? Make sure I say everybody's names right. Quite a few people from the Hut Brewer Facebook group, which is my local Facebook group that we started up. Eugene Black, Dan Philly Hahiva. Dan is also our first place winner in the SJ Pour Challenge, but more about the SJ Pour, what's in this stuff? More about the SJ Pour Challenge in another video, because we're getting close to tasting the international beers. Also Carl Hayes, who was the kind provider of the wort pack that you saw me ferment tonight. Well, I'm not doing the fermenting, the yeast is going to do the fermenting, I just put it in a bucket. Carl runs All Grain Brewing Supplies, name change to Brewtopia I do believe. He's moved into Wellington and he has a little brewery set up out the back, so keep your eyes on what Carl's going to be doing. There'll be some interesting stuff. Kerry Gray from Choice Bros is going to be working with him as well. Whew, there's going to be some fun brews coming out of that little building. Also, Robert Hort. Probably bastardised your name. Rob from Christchurch. And Oliver Jake from Christchurch. Well done on your medal ones. And finally, Luke Watkins. Now, Luke is a new brewer, a new brew tuber. He actually started doing Homebrew Wednesdays a little way back. So, link down the bottom. Go and check out his channel and subscribe and watch his stuff. Because Luke won a bronze medal for an American style stout. And it was his first all grain. That is brilliant. So, sub to Luke. His channel name is Potion Brewcraft. So sub to Luke and check out what he's doing, because he must be doing something right if he can win a bronze with the first all grain that he's ever brewed. Well done, Luke. Anyway, that's enough from me. Cheers. Have yourself another one.
29 or 30%, something like that.
Sold it for, what was it going for? Was it 100
It's
or
80
Holy
$80
shit.
an ounce.
You might
something like
have
that.
to do it from the.
what do we sell
Vikings, well, I know it's
Utopia
Vikings.
for?
Raspberry Mead.
Mead, okay.
Yeah.
We only ordered 2 bottles of it. Well, how much did the Utopia sell for?
Utopia over 200.
Yeah. So